Looking for some B movies to not take super seriously on Tubi? I got you. You might need a VPN to watch some of these in your country, but if you do, please stick around till the end of the video and I'll show you how you can do that for free. While Tubi does have a lot of B-rated movies that are not all that great, it does have some gems that are absolutely fantastic as well. So let's get into them. These are 5 B movies on Tubi that are actually good, in no particular order. Starting with the movie that helped me start this channel, Turbo Kid from 2015. Was the first movie that I chose to do a review for because when it comes to B movies, it's a great place to start if you're unfamiliar with them and really shows how B movies can actually be quite good sometimes. Like a B+, so to say. My initial review went into a lot of detail if you'd like to go back and watch that, but in short, it's a retro-futuristic horror comedy set in a post-apocalyptic world where the apocalypse happened in the 90s. It's funny, the gore is silly and over the top, the soundtrack is awesome, and overall it's a fun ride to take in start to finish. Everyone who I have shown this movie to has loved it, so if you'd like to see the movie that helped start B-movie theater, then it's available for you to watch for free on Tubi right now, both in Canada and the United States. Up next we have the second movie that I chose to do a review for on B-movie theater, Wolf Cop, which came out a year before Turbo Kid during a time period that I consider to be a bit of a golden age for B-movies. Not on a mid-80s to mid-90s level, but there was a lot of straight-to-video stuff that came out during the mid-2000s to mid-2010s that I consider to be some of the best ever that are still influential in the world of B-movies today. Between Turbo Kid and Wolf Cop, if you watch these two movies, you'll be able to get an understanding as to why I have such a love for B-movies, especially as a Canadian, because both of these movies are made in Canada by Canadian filmmakers. So please trust me when I say they are worth using a VPN to watch if you need to, especially for free. Wolf Cop tells the story about an alcoholic cop that turns into a werewolf that gains superpowers by getting drunk and eating donuts. And if that doesn't grab your attention, it's actually a good werewolf movie too. The review I did for it did have some audio issues in it, so I don't think it's worth going back to watch, but I've grown a lot since then and the movie still is. I can't say all of that about the golden age of B-movies in the mid-2000s to mid-2010s without at least mentioning Sharknado, which Tubi only has the first 2 of because the first 2 were okay, and all the others just overstayed their welcome. I'm really glad this franchise is over with now because it's become the first thing that comes to mind when people think of B-movies, and it's not the best place to start getting into them when there's a whole other world of things out there to discover that are so much better. Like Killer Clowns from Outer Space. You can tell by the title in this that it's not the type of movie to take seriously, but it did come out in theaters and is definitely the type of movie that wouldn't even get made today. It is very late 80s in the best possible way, which was right in the middle of another golden age for B-movies. It's a fun time from start to finish and would be a great movie to put on at a party or when you have friends over. Also, you know what it's about? It's about killer clowns. Yeah. From outer space. Yeah. Going around turning people into cotton candy and shooting them with popcorn guns. So yeah, it is pretty ridiculous, but it's also a very colorful movie with a good use of practical special effects. It is only rated PG-13, so it's not really scary. I think the scariest part would probably be the design of the clowns, but they are pretty silly for the most part. It does have some slapstick in it, but they are clowns after all, and I still get a few laughs out of this movie every time I watch it. So if you haven't seen Killer Clowns from Outer Space yet, it's an absolute classic B-movie that is a must-watch for anyone who likes B-movies in general. Cooties from 2014. I picked this up on Blu-ray last year, and it was one of my favorite physical media pickups of 2024. Not because of the packaging or anything like that, but just because it's a silly movie that's a really fun time to watch. It's a zombie comedy about a school being plagued by a zombie outbreak that only affects the children. The gore is gross, the script is funny, and once the movie picks up after the second act, it actually gets pretty fast-paced. It has Elijah Wood playing a substitute teacher who is working on a book, and the students versus teachers side of this makes for an entertaining B-movie that I'm really happy to have in my collection that you can now watch for free. If you like Shaun of the Dead and haven't seen Cooties yet, you should definitely check this one out because it's just got that vibe about it. Closing off this list, we got another one of my favorite physical media pickups of 2024, Guns Akimbo from 2019, which is barely a B movie because of its $15 million budget. but it definitely still counts as one as well. It's an independent R-rated dark comedy action movie about an internet troll who works as a video game developer played by Daniel Radcliffe, who inadvertently becomes the next participant in a real-life deathmatch that gets streamed online. But in order to do so, he gets guns strapped to his hands, which makes this movie really weird, but in a good way. And it also stars Samara Weaving as well. I love a lot of Samara Weaving's work, and she definitely is awesome in this. Daniel Radcliffe has been known to play some pretty weird roles over the years to avoid being typecast, and this is definitely one of them. But it's also a great little action comedy that's not really horror, but does have some horror elements to it. It's also got a killer soundtrack with a lot of electro EDM and industrial vibes that gives this movie a video game type atmosphere, and really makes the whole movie feel like an enjoyable ride. Even though it's not fully a B horror movie, it's so good that I can't not include it here on this list, because it's a must watch that is a great movie for you to put on whenever you have friends over. So just as a friendly reminder that if you need to use a VPN to watch any of these, that there's a free one built into Opera GX, which is all I've used and tested multiple times, and it works fine with no time limit for their free servers. Also, I will be leaving direct links into the description below to where you can watch these yourself. And if you're into B movies, cult classics, hidden gems, and horror, or just in the mood for something different than what the mainstream media has to offer you, like and subscribe, and I will see you again in the next video. Thanks for watching.